guys, how are you doing? Minasan konnichiwa. My name is Lisa. Welcome to my channel. Today I'll be reacting to Beastars Season 2 Episode 8. Yeah, we finally know who killed Tim. Like, it was a mystery for such a long time. In the entire first season we really didn't touch upon that topic, and in the Season 2, which really focused more on that entire incident, it still took quite a while until we reached the answers. So I'm so glad that the mystery is finally solved. But now the main question is what's gonna happen next, because we now know that Riz is the one who killed Tem. We also know from the backstory why he did that and how it all happened. And so far Legoshi and Pina are the only ones who know that he's the culprit. So now the question is, how are they gonna act from this moment onwards? Like, Legoshi's not gonna let him go. What Pina is planning to do is a bit mysterious still. And I'm sure that Riz is not gonna stay still either. So I'm very curious to find out how the story is gonna continue. And one quick question, like, I couldn't really find it, but do you guys know how many episodes this season will have? Like, when I look at my anime list, it was still a question mark. So I wonder, is this gonna be 11 or 12 episodes, or is this gonna be even longer? I don't know. In any case, I'm still very excited to continue. Like, my excitement for the show is like completely back, so I'm very excited to watch this episode. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop right into it. So let's go. Alright, I'm ready, so I'm gonna start the episode in 3, 2, 1, go. When the light shines, let's laugh at the different silhouettes. Okay. Selfie time. Beast book? Is that the equivalent for Facebook? Sure. Oh, that was an awkward smile. Nice to get a new character that we're focusing on. Do we even get her name already? Like, I know that the sheep's name is Peach, but what's the leopard's name? Sheila, okay, finally got her name. She's cute though, she has indeed a nice body. Oh yeah, patterns on patterns, I get that. This is so cute. Like, I don't know where this sudden story is coming from, but I think it's cute. Oh. Selfie, yeah, it's important to post it on social media. They also should have taken one with the food. Oh, this is so cute. Oh. Meat addiction. Eating the leftovers. Oh. He's still in high school and he's like, maybe I'm getting old. Oh, are they gonna capture him? Oh yeah, that's his job. Just throwing him off the railing. little puppy. He sees Lois as a little puppy. Okay. It's actually quite dark though. Let's see. Oh. Oh, damn. Does Leoshi have the strength to fight back? Oh, okay. Ugh. Okay. Okay, so I now understand what his training was for. So instead of like focusing his energy on his jaws, he redirected it to his arms and legs, which is good. Oh, so she's gonna be the next Adler. Mm, really? Why does she think that? Yeah. Haru! It's not just about type, it's also about the things they've been through together, also the experiences. that smirk about? Hmm. She says half, but like her part is a lot bigger than Haru's own part. Hmm. Oh. When they're still like hanging out together. Hmm. Okay, that was a smooth transition to Louis. What? Like, it didn't show in the subtitles, but this old guy, he called the crocodile also by ingredient kun. It's quite, you know, he doesn't really see the crocodile as a person. What? Oh. The jazzy background music, nice. What? What's that about? So, oh, so he used to be an ingredient as well, just like that crocodile. Yeah, it's still heavy shit. That's such a waste of the phone. I was calling him Haru. Okay. Okay, a very interesting episode. Like, we had a lot going on once again. Like, we didn't focus on one specific thing, like in a previous episode. The previous episode was really focused on Them's murder and the reveal of Riz as the culprit, while this episode was really focusing on all kinds of things again. So, yeah, I have a lot to talk about in my review. But overall, very enjoyable and interesting episode. Alright, so that was episode 8 of Beastars Season 2, and it was a very interesting episode. Like I just said, there were many different things going on. So let's just start from the beginning, in which we had this focus on Sheila, the female leopard, and I found that part very interesting. It was very cute and sweet. We really saw this budding friendship between a carnivore and a herbivore. But I found it quite random, you know, like it didn't really fit in with any other parts or storylines we've been focusing so far. It is just another example of a friendship between a carnivore and a herbivore. Kind of like in a similar way, we saw Haru and Laoshi start their friendship in season 1. Kind of in a similar way, we saw Riz and Tem's friendship growing. You know, there was another example, so I wonder if they're gonna continue with that as well, or whether that was just a random side story. But I thought it was cute. It kind of showed that when you don't think too much about it, like a herbivore and a carnivore can also really get along with each other. And I thought the relationship between Sheila and Peach was very healthy. You know, they just hang out together, they were shopping together, And while shopping, they discover that both of their lives have their own inconveniences, you know? Even when it's like something simple as shopping, we saw Sheila, like she cannot wear clothes because of her own patterns, you know, that doesn't match very well if she wears patterned clothing over her patterned fur. And in the same way, Peach cannot wear some clothes of a particular fabric because that doesn't match well with her wool, you know? So both of their physical characteristics causes some inconveniences for them. And while shopping, they got to know that from each other, which also deepens their friendship and shows that not one of them is above the other or has an easier life compared to the other. You know what I mean? Like they can just spend time as equals, which was very great to see. And I guess that kind of relates to that conversation between Juno and Haru. But in Juno and Haru, it didn't go really that smoothly, and it's mainly because of Juno's mindset, I suppose. Like Juno is still like she still draws a clear line between carnivores and herbivores. She also expressed in this episode that she also wants to keep them separate. Like she doesn't want to really interact with herbivores either, which I found kinda like I don't really understand why she thinks that way yet. Like she said at some point that she's scared of herbivores, that carnivores are like inferior to herbivores, but she didn't really explain why or why she thought that. So that's one thing I'm still curious about, and I wonder if they'll go back to that as well in later episodes. Even though Haru is like very open, you know, like she's not scared of everyone, or like she's already used to being scared, she's already used to being in danger in her everyday life, so she doesn't think much of interacting with carnivores anymore. So that's why she's like so open towards Juno. She even asked Juno to help out with the gardening, which I thought was very cute, but that made Juno a little bit confused and hesitant, I think. Also because they're like love rivals, right? So of course like their friendship won't go smooth, and I'm not really expecting that to happen either. Yeah, like surprisingly we get like so much focus on Juno in this season. I'm actually quite surprised about that. Like you guys know I don't really like her, but that's why I'm like so surprised she gets like so much focus in this whole season, and in different moments she just shows up randomly. And on one hand I guess it makes sense, like now that Louie's gone from that school, she's the next most suitable candidate to become the next Beastar, and I guess that's also one of the reasons why she gets so much focus. And she wasn't really happy when the club manager told her that she would play, what was that thing's name, Adler, on the next stage. And she was actually really happy about it initially, but when she heard about the reasoning, like she got that role because they want to be rebellious, you know? And it wasn't because of her own individual skills. I think that's the main issue. Like she wanted to be recognized for her own skills as an actress, as a performer, but not because of the whole circumstances, the whole carnivores and herbivores should be separated in classes situation, and the rebellion and that kind of stuff. So I understand why she wasn't really happy about it, but then that shifted towards her interaction with Haru. So I wonder how that's gonna go. Like, even though I don't really care about Juno, to be honest, she still plays quite a big role in the show, so I'll just see that through at least. But then we also had that focus on Legoshi again. Like we see that he's continuing his training with Gohin despite knowing that Riz is the culprit, but he also knows that there's this difference in physical strength, so he cannot do much at the moment. So I think that's also the reason why he's continuing with the training. And in this case, he really put his training into practice, so he had to go up against that meat-addicted hyena. And in that fight, even though it was short, we really saw some improvement within Legoshi. Like he's now able to redirect his jaw strength towards his arms and legs, so he can now make like stronger punches and kicks, I suppose. So it doesn't mean that he got any weaker, so that's good. And I'm very curious to see how his training is gonna continue and eventually what he's gonna do with it, because eventually he has to do something with the growth he's been making and do something about the Riz situation and other things he's been dealing with. One thought that just popped up though, where is Hexai? Like, where is she the entire time? I thought she was supposed to be the security guard, you know, the one who keeps an eye on everything that happens within the school. Like, she was gone when Riz attacked Legoshi the first time, and also during the moment in which Legoshi confronted Riz with being the culprit. Like, where is she the entire time? And like, we only saw her twice since she got introduced, so I wonder when she will get back into the story. But that's just one random thought that suddenly popped up. But then at the end of the episode, we also got a little focus on Louis again, and he's really been acting as the new leader of the Shishigumi, of the black market. We saw that one crocodile who was there to sort of offer himself as an ingredient, which are sold illegally for a high price. Yeah, it was quite sad. Like, I was a little bit distracted, so I didn't really follow why that crocodile was doing that in the first place. Like, why was he offering himself or like his body parts? Maybe just for the money, that could be one of the reasons. But it was sad. It was that old guy in the wheelchair who just saw the crocodile as an ingredient. He even called out to him as Ingredient Kun, and I was like, oh, okay. So that kind of made it sound like that old guy didn't even see the crocodile as another living being, more like just a product, you know, which was basically true at that moment. Yeah, and then after that he also ordered to cut off the crocodile's genitals, which was quite heavy. And at that moment it was really interesting how Ibuki, the lion, was covering Legoshi's eyes. More of like, yeah, you don't have to see this, it's very gory, you don't need to see this. But Louis was like, yeah, you don't need to act like my father, I'm the boss here. And I felt like Louis kind of felt the responsibility to see things through, right? As the new leader of the Shishigumi, as the new leader of the black market. I think he feels the responsibility to see things through, like everything that's going on inside his territory, basically. Which is a good thing to do as the leader, but I don't know if it's like good for Louis personally. Like, he's slowly getting more and more used to the black market. At the end we also saw him throw away his phone when Haru was calling him, and I think that also kind of represents him trying to cut off his ties with all the people from his previous life. You know, he has started his new life as the leader of the Shishigumi, so I think he just wants to cut off all the connections from his previous life. I think that's kind of what that drop of the phone implied, you know, like kind of like his resolve to move on, basically. So yeah, very interesting but packed episode. A lot of things were going on, so I had a lot of things to cover. So I'm very curious to see how things are gonna continue. Like, we didn't really focus on Riz or that whole incident in this episode, surprisingly. Like, I thought they would like directly continue with that in this episode, you know, since that was like the main focus of the previous episode. But we didn't cover that at all in this episode. You know, we started off with that random shopping moment of Sheila and Peach, and then we had a lot of scenes after that, but none of them are really connected to the incident with Riz and Tem. So I thought that was quite surprising. So maybe that's something we'll be focusing on again in the next episode, who knows. In any case, I'm very curious to see the continuation. But that was my reaction to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you can see my other reaction videos, feel free to check out my channel and subscribe. So in any case, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.